Welcome back to the channel, guys. I appreciate y'all stopping through, man. Today we are going to be going over 3 tracks that are free right now. One of them is only free until tomorrow, actually, so very limited time. But first we're going to be going over the 22 test track by Callum Designs. Now, he actually posted this on MXB Mods because he's testing out a new Supercross template. And Callum Designs, I mean, he always makes really good tracks, so I was very eager to go download this and give it a shot, man. And so far, I really enjoy this track. There is a couple little things that maybe I would change with the template, Callum, but that's just like probably because of a skill issue. I'm not sure. One of them being the tabletop right here for the on-off. I just feel like it's the jump before it pops you up way too high, almost like it's forcing you to quad over. That's the only gripe that I have about the entire track. So, and that could be a skill issue. I couldn't quite quad it. I kept just stepping on, stepping off, because every time I tried to quad it, I would come up short. But I am on a 250, so that could be another thing. But most likely, it's probably just a skill issue, you know what I mean? But this is free right now on MXB Mods, and I think it just came out today. But it is definitely worth you guys going and picking up. I'm not sure about how many gates or anything that are on this track, but I do really just like it. It rides very well, and it's very visually appealing, you know what I mean? So it's definitely worthy of you going and picking up and giving it a shot, man. I really do like all the little objects around the track and how you're kind of like inside of a warehouse, or like what it reminds me of is, like, you know, people that go and they buy those what are they called? The like storage units. It's almost like a Supercross track mixed like right in the middle of like a storage unit place. But it is a very fun track. It's not insanely difficult at all, and I think on a 450 you would be able to clear everything with ease, no problem. So definitely fire, man. I just have been struggling with Supercross, man. Just in general recently, Supercross has just been getting under my skin, and I don't know why. Now, I did notice the Yamaha has a lot more power to the rear end, so I'm sliding out a lot more. And honestly, out of all the bikes I found, the Honda doesn't slide out near as much on the rear end as some of the other bikes. So I'm going to be giving the Honda a test a little bit later, but we're going to jump on to the next track. All right, so now this is the 2023 ARL All-Star Nationals Blue Diamond. I forget what round it is, but believe it or not, this is actually the only pro/AM race that I've ever qualified for in my life. This was a couple months back, and me, Gyro, and Turbo were all playing together, and we all tried to qualify, and we actually all qualified. Believe it or not, I actually beat Gyro in that race. Tell him about it, Jerky. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, this track is really nice. Now, it is a little bit more difficult right now on the Beta 19 bikes than it was on the Beta 18, and I don't know what soil type it has, but it is definitely more difficult than it was when I qualified. I have a lot of problems with the rear end sliding out a bit on here, but this track is actually only free for a limited time. Normally this would be a paid track, and I believe it's $1.50. But up until tomorrow at midnight, I believe, you can actually go download this for free. So make sure that you head over to the shop and download this while you can, man. I say it every month, but any of them free tracks that get dropped, make sure you go pick them up for free, even if you don't have the intention of playing them right away. That way, they will always be in your downloads, because once you buy them, you can always just go back, go to all my downloads, and download any of those tracks at any time. So it's always worth just adding them to your inventory, you know, essentially. So I would highly suggest going to the shop and picking this track up. It is definitely worth it, man. It is more technical, but not insanely technical. I would call it more intermediate. You know what I mean? Not quite like an ARL difficulty, but not as easy as some of the other ones. So, which is actually exactly what typical Canadian was going for when he built these. They were meant as more of like the amateur. I don't know how to explain it. It was more like just the amateur races for people that wanted to compete. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Fun track, definitely a little bit technical, but this triple right here was actually quite hard to hit when I was qualifying for it and during the race on the Beta 18s. So the front ends of these Beta 19s are definitely better because that triple is not hard at all to hit anymore. Before it was almost like you were slamming into a wall and then your bike would just like do whatever it wanted midair, you know what I mean? So the Beta 19's front ends are definitely really good, so easier to hit that line for sure. Now, I did just finish Serpent's Pass, the collaboration track between me and Hell Machine, and I submitted it to the shop for review this morning. Being that it's Friday, I'm probably gonna have to wait to post it until Monday, but definitely be on the lookout for that, man. That's going to be coming very, very soon, and I'm pretty sure it's going to get approved right away. Not 100% sure, but I just say pretty sure because I paid a lot of attention to what I was doing, you know what I'm saying? So you got to double check everything before you submit it. You know, you don't want any floating objects and all that stuff because it's a pain. But all right, so now we are on the third track that we're going to go over today, and this is Keystone Raceway by the Red Rum Racing Crew. Now, I had not spun any laps on this prior to actually recording this video, so if I am not taking the correct lines, don't be jumping my bones too much, you know what I mean? But from the 2 laps that I have spun, you know, I'm cutting up to this point, so from the 2 laps I actually did spin, it's actually a very good track, man. It does have its technical spots, especially when it comes to the rhythm sections. Some of the rhythm sections you have to choke up for before you hit. You have to decide before you go in, are you going to hit the triple or the quad? You know what I mean? Because if you don't, it's very easy to over jump that first jump and ruin the line for the rest of the rhythm section. So you definitely got to pay attention to what you're doing as far as entering the rhythm sections. But there are plenty of ruts everywhere, so the rear end sliding out in the corners is not as big of a problem. Usually it's like the flat corners where that really becomes, you know, difficult. But right here is one of the sections. I was over jumping that quite a bit when I first hit it. So yeah, man, definitely worth you guys going and picking this up. This is on MXB Mods for free right now, and it's a very good track, man. They did a good job on it, especially for a free track. Like, very good. So keep up the good work, guys. I enjoyed this. I'm gonna have to go back. I think there was round 2, or I think there was another round that they released for SMX that I have not tried yet, that I'm gonna have to go back and check out, man, because they actually did a very good job. So but other than that, make sure you guys go hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join that Discord so you don't miss out on any future giveaways that we are going to be doing, man. When my track drops, I will post like a random set of codes in the chat for people to just grab up, so be looking out for that. And other than that, y'all have a blessed day. Stay up. Peace.